You're welcome.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody. Welcome to the beautiful downtown Sephardic temple, where tonight we are surprised. Where are you, Sephardi June? Ah, here's our one Sephardic man. Thank you so much for coming. Asfahani, Terani, Shirazi. Don't say Rashti. Okay, so folks, welcome. I can almost hear myself over your chatting. Can we start with hello? Testing, is this thing on? Okay. If you can see me or you can hear me, raise your hand. All right, the rest of you go home. Okay, so what a wonderful event to do on Hanukkah. We are here to celebrate Jews for Judaism. This is an important organization. The name itself tells you, Captain Obvious, Jews for Judaism. There's a banquet here next week for attorneys for billable hours. After that, we're having a banquet for Sephardi for adult children living at home. Followed by children for toys and candy. Next week, they're having a banquet over at the other place, Jews for JC. Because of the amazing work we're doing, they are running scared. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Listen, what they do here is important because what happens here is they promote Jewish identity. They promote critical thinking. They empower individuals to make smart choices when they're forced or faced with coercive non-Jewish activity. And this is more important than we would think. I am an award-winning screenwriter. Movies you may have seen or may not have seen. How many people saw Citizen Kane? It's a good movie. I did not work on that. Shrek 2, maybe, nominated for Academy Award. Thank you. More important than my work as a filmmaker is the fact that I spent 15 years as an evangelist in the Christian church, teaching youth groups, leading youth choirs, writing films and media for famous evangelists on college campuses. And thank God I got out. It was a miraculous story, and I'll tell you a little more about that later. We'll have some fun with that. I wandered into a church, met a nice Christian Presbyterian girl. We got married in the church under a chuppah with a Jews for Jesus rabbi. And thank God, within a few years, found my way out by miracle. We remained married, and she converted to Orthodox Judaism. And thank God, we are almost 24 years on this path. Jews for Judaism played an important role at a pivotal moment, which I'll tell you about later. But not everybody gets that miracle. And when that miracle doesn't come, that's when we need Rabbi Kravitz and his son, a father and son organization, again, a little bit like Jews for Judaism. Jews for Judaism makes, Jews for Jesus, which makes no sense. Jews for Jesus makes about as much sense as vegetarians for Burger King. Like, where exactly is that going, you know? So that's why we want to celebrate this. Is there are a lot of souls out there who have not realized the beauty of Jews for Judaism. There are many Jews who are not for Judaism, who don't realize the beauty of their own tradition. They weren't educated in it. They didn't have a strong Jewish upbringing. They didn't get to enjoy the beauty of a real Hanukkah, of a great Shabbat. And for those individuals, it's very easy to wander out into the world and get lost in a wrong path for a Jew. And the result of that is a lack of joy, because we're designed as Jewish neshamas to have a rich, full life in our Judaism. And that's what the Kravitz and sons, that's what they bring us. So we're going to celebrate that tonight, but we're going to kick it off first. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's some entertainment coming and some wisdom and some laughs. But first, we're going to light the menorah because it is Hanukkah. And we're going to light the lights all at the same height because all the Jews should be equal in each other's eyes. We're not going to get drunk before we light the menorah because we don't want to forget to light. For those of you who like to get drunk before you light your menorah, don't do it. For those of you who like to study Torah, we're not going to do that for a half an hour before we light the menorah because you might forget. So the crazy holy fanatics need to take a break, and the wild partying Jews with their partying need to take a break, and we all need to be on the same level. Yoni Weiss, are you here? Yoni Weiss is my father or my son, my brother. When I see him, I'll tell you what he is. He's a guy that I've never met. Never met him. He's going to come and light the menorah for us, and then we're going to have dinner. So please enjoy the lighting of the menorah. I don't know how you're going to do it. I'm not on the technical staff, but Ladies and gentlemen, Yoni Weiss and Rabbi Kravitz.
Hello.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam she'asa nisim lavoseinu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh.
We are going to hear from Rabbi Zalman Kravitz, and I'll tell you just briefly a little bit about him. Rabbi Zalman is the executive director of the educational program at Jews For Judaism International. He created and launched multiple Jewish student leadership programs, which include Smart Choices Project, a curriculum to develop smart thinking skills, and an online community for Jewish millennials. Rabbi Zalman also established the Nonprofit Exchange, which is a collaborative community for Jewish nonprofits. Born in LA, Rabbi Zalman attended rabbinical seminaries in Florida, New York, and New Jersey, obviously chasing the weather. In the winter, he was in Florida. He spent his summers in Jersey on the shore, and he went to New York on weekends. He's got his ordination from the Rabbinical College of America. Rabbi Zalman has also earned a Master's of Business Administration at the American Jewish University, making his father doubly proud. Rabbi Zalman, where are you? Get up here, young man. We're talking about you.
I also get a pay raise.
Yeah.
Happy Chanukah, everyone. It is so nice to see so many people in this room, so many people who are passionate and care about the Jewish community. Tonight is the second night of Chanukah, and on Chanukah, we celebrate the dedication, or the rededication of the temple in Jerusalem so many years ago. And the message of Chanukah, where we celebrate the spreading of light, of inspiration throughout the world. If you don't mind, I'd like to take a moment to share a story of someone who turned to us for help and inspiration. It's about 11:30 at night, and I'm writing an ethics essay for the MBA program at AJU. Thank you, Rhoda. And I get a text message from a mother on the East Coast who finally was able to get all of her 11 out of 12 children into a conference call. Now, mind you, she's on the East Coast. It's 2:30 in the morning. This was the only time that she was able to get all of her kids, besides one, on the call. And they were deliberating, what do they do? Because the youngest sibling started to wander off the path. Started wandering on this journey of discovery and ended up in a mainline evangelical church. And she found a place that was experiential, fun, and so on, but ended up rejecting many of the core values and core ideas that she was brought up to believe in. And they didn't know what to do. Do we throw her out of the house? Do we tell her, look, it's all or nothing? What do we do? And some of the families, it's like 4 different factions, 11 kids, all say, I feel like it's, being torn in all different places. And after an hour and a half of this phone call and listening to all the different family members, the mother pipes up. She's silent the whole time. And she said, "My daughter will always be welcome in my home. I met yesterday with a therapist who's going to help me work with her so that she could become and continue to be a healthy person, because that is the most important thing." And at that moment, I was able to bring together all the different factions and rally behind this mother to support her in that choice that she made. And I believe that that one moment is an outlier moment, a moment that will change this girl's life forever. Malcolm Gladwell, in his book Outliers, talks about the idea that there are events in people's lives, there are occurrences that happen all the time that could change a person's direction. It could propel them to success, just as Steve Jobs or Bill Gates. I believe that Jews for Judaism is in the business of Jewish outlier moments. It's our job to inspire others by just small acts of goodness and kindness, by caring, by sharing, by living inspired. The Baal Shem Tov, the founder of the Hasidic movement, would say that when 2 people come together and do a good deed or share a word of Torah, a word of wisdom, that all of creation was created for that one moment, that they could be in that physical spot and that they could elevate it. Combine that with Malcolm Gladwell's idea, all of creation was waiting for that one moment that we could inspire that one person. And the question is not whether we're doing it, but the question is recognizing it. And very often we do it, but we never hear back from the people that we have impact on. And